I am going to go over the Unit 5 review. Now, what I would recommend is as I go over a question and you follow along, pause this video and then try to do the question on the right, because the ones on the right are going to directly correspond with the ones on the left. Okay, so this one says, what is the x value of the solution to the system of equations? Okay, so since this x is already by itself, it's pretty much set up for substitution. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to substitute this quantity, 4y plus 7, into the x. So what I'm going to do is rewrite this bottom equation, but instead of saying 2x, I'm going to say 2 parentheses 4y plus 7. And then I'm going to say minus 6y equals 12. Okay? And now I'm going to distribute the 2. 2 times 4y is 8y. 2 times 7 is positive 14. And I haven't done anything with the minus 6y or the equals 12, so I'm just going to bring those down. I'm going to combine like terms. So 8y minus 6y gives me 2y. And then plus 14 equals 12. Subtract 14 from both sides because I have to do SADMEP. 14 minus 14 is 0. I get 2y equals negative 2. And then finally, divide both sides by 2. And y gives me negative 1. Now, to find the value of x, I'm going to take this value of negative 1 and plug it back into y. I can use either equation. However, the top one I think is easier because x is already by itself, and that's what I'm trying to solve for. So I'm going to say x equals 4, but instead of y, I'm going to put parentheses negative 1 and then add 7. Okay? And then I just work this out. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Add 7. When I add those together, I get x equals positive 3. And there is my answer, y'all. Okay? Because it's only asking for the x value, so I'm only going to give it the x value. All right? Now, let's take a look at the next one. Number 2, it says there are 180 balls in the gym storage closet. The balls are either in 15-inch diameter or 10 inches in diameter. Okay? And the diameter of all the balls together is 2,500. I'm guessing that's inches. It doesn't specifically say, but I'm guessing it's 2,500 inches. Write a system of equations that you could use to find the number of 15-inch balls, the x, and the number of 10-inch balls, the y. Okay. This problem gives me two totals. I have the total of the balls themselves, and I have the total in diameter, or inches. I'm just going to put inches. Okay? So in order to find the total of anything, you have to add them up together. Okay? So I'm going to give myself a plus sign for both of these. I'm going to leave some spaces, and I'm going to put equal sign. Okay? Now I'm going to look up. I'm going to say, okay, total of number of balls. How many total balls? 180. Okay? Now, I don't know how many of there are of either size, so I'm going to put x and y. Now, I'm going to look at total inches. Well, the total number of inches is 2,500, or 2,500. Okay? Also, x and y. Now, I got to figure out where to put this 15 and 10. Well, the 15 and 10 refer to the inches, so they're going to go with the variables that represent inches. So 15 goes with the x, and 10 goes with the y. Notice I didn't put 15 with the x and the y on the top one because those deal with inches. This 180 does not deal with the inches. And there we go. That is my answer, y'all. Okay? That's a y. That's not a g. Okay? So try to do the one on the right. Okay? All right, number 3. It says the tables of the ordered pairs represent some points on the graphs of the lines m and n. Match the system to the tables provided. Now, here's something that's implied but not directly said. Alphabetically speaking, m comes before n. So what this means is this table represents one of these top equations. This table represents one of these bottom equations, okay? Now, if you look at these things, there's not really much to type. I can't really type this. I could type the table in, but I can't. Desmos isn't going to be able to give me these forms. So really, the best way to do it is to plug values in. Okay? Now, when I say values, let's pick the easiest one. Anything that has a 0 in it is going to be easy because 0 is easy to plug in. So these are the magic points I'm going to focus on. Okay, so if I look at this first one, okay, so it says x equals y plus 8. So in Desmos, what I'm going to do, instead of saying x equals y plus 8, I'm going to literally, I don't need to do this in Desmos. I can just plug it in and say negative 8 equals 0 plus 8. Okay, so if I type in 0 plus 8, that gives me positive 8. That does not equal negative 8. But this one's gone already. Okay, I'll plug this in. Negative 8 equals negative 0 plus 8. Okay, well, negative 0 is just 0. 0 plus 8 still does not work. 0 plus 8 still gives me 8. I ain't that one. Okay, I'm still focused. Notice how it just failed on this top one. I didn't even try the bottom equation. It doesn't matter because one of us already failed, so therefore it doesn't work. Okay, so I'll try this top one again. So 0, there, negative 8 and 0. So negative 8 equals 0 minus 8. Well, okay, well, let's try it. I'm going to try 0 minus 8. 0 minus 8. Oh, hey, look, that gives me negative 8. So negative 8 does equal negative 8. Okay, so far so good. That checks out. Now I'm going to try the second point from line N. So I'm going to plug 6 parentheses 0 plus 3 parentheses 1. And I'm going to type this into Desmos. Okay, so I type in 6 parentheses 0 close parenthesis plus 3 parentheses, 6. Oh yeah, 3 parentheses 1. And that gives me 3. And it should equal 3. That one checks out. Okay, now just to double check, just to make sure. Okay, so this one says, I'm going to plug these values back in here, okay? So I'm going to say negative 8 equals negative 0 minus 8. Okay, that negative 0 doesn't matter. That works. This one checks out too, okay? So let's try this one. So I'll say 6 parentheses 0 minus 3 parentheses 1, okay? The only thing that's changed here is this minus sign. That gives me negative 3 on my computer screen, and it does work. Oh, okay, well. Now it's time to try some additional values. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to try this one, 1 and 9, okay? So I'm going back to letter B, okay? So I'm going to plug 1 in here and 9 in here, okay? So I'll say 1 equals 9 minus 8. Well, 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay, so that one works. So far, so good. Okay, then I can try, these are nasty, but that's okay. I'll just pick this one. Okay, 3 and negative 5. Okay, so I'll do 3 here and negative 5 here. Okay, so I'm going to say, change that back to a plus. Put 3. And then change this to a negative 5. Gives me positive 3. Okay, so that one checked out too. All right, so I'm going to try this one. 6 parentheses 3 minus 3 parentheses negative 5. Okay, so now I'm going to change this back. So I'll say 6 parentheses 3 close parentheses minus 3 parentheses negative 5. Okay. Oh, that gave me negative 33. That does not equal 3. Not even close. Well, so it has to be B. Okay. Sometimes you got to plug in more than one point. Okay, but I did find one that fails, so that one fails. Okay. So try to pause this video. Try to do number 3. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one now. Number 4. It says sketch a graph to represent a system that has infinite solutions. Remember, if it's infinite solutions, it's just a line on top of a line. So I'll draw a line. It doesn't even matter what line I draw. sure. That's not a very good line. Hopefully you can draw a better straight line. But infinite would just be a line on top of a line. There you go. Done. Try to do number 4 on the right. All right. Here we go. Turn the page. And make sure this thing is focused. All right. Number 5. It says 2 customers went to a store to buy stamps and duct tape. Each stamp costs the same amount, and each roll of duct tape costs the same amount. Okay, so what am I comparing? I have X and I have Y. Okay, well, I'm going to assign my X to be my stamps. I'm going to assign my Y to be duct tape. Okay, now every time I see stamps, I'm going to put an X. Every time I see duct tape, I'll put a Y. Okay, X, Y, X, Y, because what this tells me, it's going to help me out with to set up my equation. So it says I paid $12.80 for 8 stamps. So when you see this word for, that usually means equals, and it does for this. And in math, when you see this word and, that tells me plus. So my first equation will literally be $12.80 equals 8x plus 2y. Okay, and then my second equation will be $18. 4 means equals 12x plus 1y, or just y. Okay? Now, I could solve these a couple different ways. I'm going to solve them by graphing. Okay? In order to get these to be graphing, they need to be in slope-intercept form, meaning y needs to be by itself. Okay? So literally, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite them, both of these. I'm just going to flip the whole entire equation. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. 12x plus y equals 18. This time I didn't put the 1 in front of it. It doesn't matter. You don't need to have the 1 in front of it. All right, so to get y by itself, the first thing you want to do is move the x over. So this is a positive 8x to begin with. It's now going to be a negative 8x when it moves over. And then after you've moved over your x, you need to divide everything by the y coefficient. So I'm going to divide everything by 2. Okay? So y equals negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 4x. And then, because I'm going to have the least amount of fractions I can deal with. Let's see, 12.8 divided by 4 is 3.2. I'm going to leave that as a decimal because 3.22 is easier to write as compared to 1280 over 2. All right, same thing here. I need to move over the x. So if that says positive 12x, when it moves over, it's now going to become a negative 12x, and then plus 18. Now, the second step is usually to divide everything by the y coefficient, but if it's 1, that doesn't change anything. So we're good to go. So now I can, in Desmos, I can graph these. So I'll say y equals negative 4x plus 3.2. Okay, and then I got y equals negative 12x plus 18. Okay, and then I just click on where they cross. All right, and I want to know how much each stamp costs. The stamps are the x values. The x value here is $1.85. And because it's money, I am going to do that. There you go. Okay. Number 2. Or no, excuse me, number 6. What is the x value of the solution to the system of equations? Okay, there's a couple ways you can do this. I think since this bottom equation already in slope-intercept form, I'm going to try to solve this by graphing. So this first equation is not in slope-intercept form. I need to get y by itself. So remember, the first step I got to do is move over the x. If this is a positive x, when it moves over, it's now going to become negative x. So y equals negative x plus 6. And then I still have that y equals 1/2 x plus 9. I just rewrote it so they match up. Okay, so now all I got to do is just graph them. So y equals negative x plus 6. And then y equals 1 divided by 2. Oh, not 23. 2. Get out of the denominator. X plus 9. Okay, and then just click on where they cross. It gives me -2 comma 8, and I want to know the x value, so my answer is -2. Done. Okay. Number 7. All right, it says an offensive coach and a defensive coach each wrote plays for the team. The offensive coach wrote 6 fewer than twice the number that the defensive coach wrote. They wrote a total of 21 plays. Okay. So I have offense and defense. I'm going to assign them variables, x and y. Okay. So x and y. Okay. So x is offense, y is defense. Okay. All right. The offensive coach wrote 6 fewer. So when you say 6 fewer, that means -6. And then twice the number, that means 2 times the defensive coach, which is y. So that means 2y. Okay, so here's this first one. So like it's going to say this: x equals 2y minus 6. There you go. Now, they wrote a total. Well, total just means adding stuff together. Okay, so adding stuff together. Well, I don't know how many specifically offensive or defensive, what each one individually did, so it's literally just x plus y. And there you go. We're done with that one. Number 8. Okay, it says a bag contains 25 coins consisting of quarters and dimes. Okay, the total value of the coins is $5.05. Write a system of equations that could be used to determine the number of quarters, Q, and number of dimes, D, in the bag. Okay, so my two variables, quarters, dimes. Okay, now I have two totals this time. I have total coins and total value. Almost sounds like Walmart, right? Okay. Now the total coin, total for anything, you have to add them up to. You're going to be doing some adding. Okay. So the total coins is 25. The total value is $5.05. Running out of space. That's okay. All right, and I have quarters and dimes. Quarters and dimes. Okay. The only thing I am left that I need to do is total value is money. Okay, there's a money amount that needs to go with the quarters and dimes. Remember, quarters are worth 25 cents and dimes are worth 10 cents. However, this is technically incorrect. You need to make sure you have a decimal point because a quarter is not $25, it's 25 cents. Same thing with a dime. I don't know how many specific quarters or dimes are, so I can't go any farther with that. Money goes with money. The coins themselves go by themselves on this top equation. There you go. And I'm gonna rewrite it just so it's a little bit nicer. And then 0.25Q plus 0.10D equals 5.05. Okay. You don't necessarily need to rewrite it. Okay. All right. So pause and try to do the one on the right. Remember that. Okay. All right. Here we go. And number 9. Only have 3 more left. Cool. Guess how many questions are on your test? 3. All right. It says the line graphed on the grid represents the first 2 equations of the linear system. Okay. If the graph of the second equation, the system passes through these 2 points. So -8, -12. All right. And then 0, 12, what statement is true. Here's what you got to do. Plot these 2 points. Okay. So remember, this is x, this is y, this is x, this is y, this is x, this is y. Okay. So -8 goes to the left, 8, and look at the scale. And then I'm going to go up to, or down to -12. So right there. Okay. And then 0, 12. So I don't go left or right at all, and then go straight up to 12. Okay. And then I'm going to connect those dots. I think I have a straight edge. I'm going to use my ID. Okay. Which you should have your ID on you as well. So you can look at my goofy picture. Once you have those 2 dots, Connect them with a straight edge. Oh, hey, look. It's a line on top of a line. That tells me it's infinite solutions. Okay? So the trick is plotting the points. Okay? 2 more. Number 10. A manager purchased a total of 54 hot dogs and hamburgers. Okay? Remember, and means plus. Okay? And hot dogs and hamburgers. Each hot dog cost $1.75. Each hamburger cost $2.50. The manager spends a total of $105. How many hot dogs did she buy? All right. So first of all, I got to figure out what I'm comparing: hot dogs and hamburgers. So I'll use X and Y, because since they both start with H, I'm not going to use any H's in this. Okay. So I'll say X is my hot dogs, and Y is my hamburgers. And the reason I did that is just because of the order that it gave me in. Okay. So I had total food, and I also have a total money. Okay, now total of anything is your adding, so I'm gonna have a plus sign, I'm gonna have some equals. So total food is 54, and I got X being my hot dogs, or excuse me, hamburgers, and Y being my hot dogs. Money, the total money is $105. Okay, of Y and X. Now, I got some additional information. Now, if you notice, these things have dollar signs next to them. The money goes with the money. So the hot dog is I said that was X, so it's going to be $1.75. Oops, $1.75 here. And then this one's going to be $2.50. Running out of room. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'll rewrite it. So X plus Y equals 54. And then 1.75x plus 250y equals 105. There we go. Oh, but we want to solve it because it's asking me to solve it. This one wasn't just asking me to set it up. Okay, that's fine. So I still like graphing. Okay, so I need to get these in slope-intercept form. This one's easy. I just move over this positive x. So that one's going to be y equals negative x plus 54. Okay. And then this one I got to move over the x. So that's going to be y equal, 250y equals negative 1.75x plus 105. And then I divide everything by 250. Okay. So there we go. So I'm going to solve these by graphing. So y equals negative x plus 54. Okay, and the other one is y equals, and then to do that big old fraction, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this show keypad. I'm going to hit the divide button like that and just type it in as a giant fraction. So negative 1.75x plus 105 all over 2.5. Okay. Notice I don't see anything because I got to zoom out. And then once I zoomed out, I can zoom back in a little bit. And then there we go. 40, 14. Now, it's asking for hot dogs. Hot dogs, I've already labeled it, are my x value. So the x value would be 40. There. That's the answer. All right, and one more. Graph the solution set to the set of inequalities on number 11. Okay, so this one, I'm going to use a different colored pen than I normally have. I'll use a red and a blue. Okay, I like using different color for these because it's a little easier for me to see. Okay, so thankfully these are both in slope-intercept form. So this one's going to be my red one. This one's going to be my blue one. Okay, so I start at 3 there. It's going up 1, right 2. So up 1, right 2. Up 1, right 2. Up 1, right 2. It's also going down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2. Okay? And then I need to figure out if I need to connect the dots with a solid or dotted line. Well, If there's a line under the sign, I draw a solid line. If there's not, we simply dot. Well, there's no line under the sign, so I'm going to draw a dot. There's not, so I'm going to dot or dash, There we go. All right, now I got to figure out if I need to shade above or below this line. So what I like to do is I like to draw a Y on top. I'll draw it with the black because it's a neutral color. Okay, and then if I look at this, think back from elementary school. Think of it like the alligator. It eats towards what's bigger. It's eating away from the Y, so I'm going to literally shade away from the Y. Okay. I could also plug in 0 for, I could also see if it's true, we shade 2. So if I pick 0, 0, I plug 0 in for Y and 0 for X. 0 is less than 3. That's true. So I'm going to shade towards the 0. Okay. Now this next one, it says Y is greater than or equal to negative 2X plus 1. So I'm going to go up to the Y-intercept of 1. The slope is negative 2 over 1. So that means I'm going to fall 2, right 1. Fall 2, right 1. Fall 2, right 1. I can also go up 2, left 1. Up 2, left 1. Up 2, well, I can't go any further than that. All right, now I need to connect them either with a solid or dotted line. So remember, if there's a line under the sign, we draw a solid line. If there's not, we simply dot. This has a line under the sign, so I'm going to draw a solid line. I'm going to put arrows on the ends. Okay? And then if I look at it like from elementary school, it's hungry, eats towards what's bigger. It's eating towards the Y, so I'm going to shade towards the Y. Okay? And then the solution set is going to be where the lines are cross-hatched. So meaning this area here, where the red and the blue are cross-hatched. And there we go. All right, guys. So try to do the ones on the right. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email. My email address is efee@leisd.ws. If you just type my last name, Fee, it'll pull up on your Gmail. All right. Until next time, guys.